Plenty of people will be sticking around for race number 10, the Class 2 over the 1,200 metres, the return of the very exciting Athero. First time in this class, he'll take on horses like California Whip, Raging Storm, Raging Blitzkrieg. Athero will carry Saddlecloth 4, unbeaten from 3 so far. High 5, Speed Vision, Fat Turtle, Dan Control is chasing a high achievement bonus, as is Speed Vision, Athero and Beauty Rush, another very exciting recruit from Australia who won his final 3 before heading over to Hong Kong. Perfect Glory ran a bottler behind Water Diviner first up. Super Turbo, California Archer, Baltic Whisper and the speedy Team Spirit down the bottom. Chun Fa, Speed Vision, Perfect Glory, California Archer are the 3 horses to be going back and forth. We take a look at the speed map. There's plenty of it here, Tom.
No shortage of it, all right. Good to fast. Speed Vision will try and pour it on out wide for Santa from gate 14. You've got Baltic Whisper, who likes to go to the front, but he's been a bit of a morning glory recently. Team Spirit is another one that can race handy. That means horses like Fat Spirit, who like to race on the pace, he can get from gate 1 a nice run on the rail. Athero, interesting with him. He's led in all of his runs, but if they try and ride him just in behind the pace, might be quite interesting.
Well, we wonder whether or not it'll upset the apple cart with Athero. But that's what happens when you get up in grade, Paul.
It definitely is. And Raging Storm, he's already had a run this season. He'll be second up coming into this particular race. His work is pretty good, and he has won second up before as Raging Storm. You can see him going nicely there. Here is Athero. Look, he's going really well. They're talking about the international
Sprint
races for him, sprint. If he's a chance in that, he has to win this race, I think. Zach Purton aboard and he goes really nicely, so nice piece of work for him. And then Dan Control, now he did win fresh and then he sort of went off the ball a little bit from his 3 starts, but he's got that good fresh record and he's got some good form behind 10 Sovereigns over in Ireland, and 10 Sovereigns is going for the big races in Australia now.
All right, let's start off with our good friend Frankie Law, who chats about his runners, starting with Fat Turtle.
Fat Turtle, Frankie, what did you think of his last run?
Last one, I think the horse a little bit hang in, so I think if the horse is goes good, straight line, I think he can win the race. But unfortunately, the horse a little bit hang in, so the jockeys need to do something for him. And then, but anyway, the jockeys still have suspend 2 days.
With that run under his belt, do you think he's improved from that race?
Yes, he improved, but later on, he will, I think he'll go up to 1,400, 1,600. At this moment, he still can handle 1,200.
So he's not necessarily a sprinter?
He's not necessarily a sprinter. Should be a mile later on.
Speed Vision is his first run for the season in that race. What are your thoughts with him, Frankie?
This horse is first start in this season, but I think his better horse in Happy Valley better. But anyway, we haven't got too many ways for him, so I'll just put in race him one time first to see, make him more fit.
And your 2 horses take on Athero from John Moore's stable. He looks a very exciting horse. He must be hard to beat.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. You can see his trial, very good. But anyway, the horse need to race. Just race him.
All right, there's Frankie giving us an insight on the runners from his stable, and Fat Turtle, as you showed in the speed map, Tom, should get a lovely little nice cushy run on the speed.
Gate 1, Joe Moreira. If something ends up happening to Athero, the favourite in the run, he'll be there to strike.
Yeah. Water Diviner's taken a few scalps in the past too, Paul, we know.
Yeah, he has, definitely, and he's got some good form, Fat Turtle. He ran second by Champions Way as well.
Not usual talent.
Not usual talent. So, look, I think he's the hardest for Athero to beat.
Well, let's have a look at Athero in action last season. As Tom mentioned when we touched on the speed map, going into Class 2 now for the first time, he's come up against some opposition here who might not have the same size engine, but there is a lot of pace early and it could take him out of his comfort zone. So a young horse, inexperienced in that situation, may potentially create some vulnerabilities, but pound for pound, he looks to have them covered.
Yeah, there was question marks in this race, remember, because he drew 14 and we were wondering how he was going to cope, and you can see how he copes. He did that, right?
True.
And if they are talking about the sprint, which they are talking about, as I said, he has to win this race.
Do you think he'll push right on and maybe try and get the front again, or just take a sit? That's the big question mark.
Yeah.
I think with all that speed, he's probably going to have to take a sit if they go hard, and there's horses like Speed Vision, who we know is a demon leader, Baltic Whisper, Team Spirit, and if they all cut each other's throats, then he's out of play.
Well, here's the trial. It was over 1,000, again, in his comfort zone, out in front, doing his own thing. If it's different there on Tuesday, where he's sat in, he's got a horse in front of him, a horse behind him, maybe even a horse outside of him, all of a sudden, it is a different ball game, and he potentially might not be able to utilise his assets. However, the good ones can find a way to get through all those adversities, Paul, and he'll be hard to tip against. Beauty Rush is obviously a very talented young horse himself, winning his final 3 races before heading over from Australia. He arrives on a rating of 83. He was quite impressive this morning.
Yeah, he did win this. This is on the all-weather. He now comes, obviously, to the turf for the first time. 1171 pounds, 2 trials. Most of his runs have been left-handed, but he seemed to have coped with the right-handedness there.
He was a stakes winner, Group 3 winner at Caulfield of the Manfred Stakes. He'd won a couple of times at Sandown on the hillside and the lakeside course there. It was a good barrier trial win, but they'd certainly had him ready to roll for that Happy Valley meeting a couple of weeks ago that he just didn't get to in the end.
He's another one that's going to deal with a fair bit of pace here. He's got plenty himself, but
he has worn the blinkers in Australia, so it's not blinkers
we
first.
had a look back through his form. One of the horses that ran second to him has won 3 or 4 since. So
Bravo Tango.
Yeah, obviously very strong form. It's a great race. Who's the on-top selection, Paul?
No, Thero for me. I think he's the real deal, and this will be the thing. And as you mentioned, if things don't go his way, good horses overcome that. And we saw that last time with the wide barrier draw, and he handled it with aplomb. So he's on top to beat Fat Turtle from barrier 1. He should get a nice run. Raging Storm with that second up record. And Dan Control, I'm going to give him another chance. He did win fresh up when he got here quite impressively as well. I think with all that pace, and the race will open up and he'll be able to slot in. So it's 4, 7, 2 and 8.
Yeah, I think Athero will be very tough to beat in this race. Whatever happens, as Paul said, good horses can overcome atrocities and get through and win. And if something untoward happens and he gets caught up between runners, they go mad in front, I think he still can overcome all that. So we're 4 Athero, 2 Raging Storm. His fresh record's good. I tipped him last start, so I feel obliged to go with him again. Fat Turtle and Beauty Rush. So 4, 2, 7 and 9. Yeah,
I tipped him as well. I'm not tipping against him. I think he's got a much bigger engine than most of these. But if he gets caught in a bit of traffic and pulls and over races and is uncomfortable, then maybe that can bring him undone. Who knows? It might go the other way. He might sit in, get some cover. John Moore said he looked a bit like Abel Friend and just go whoosh. It's going to be exciting to see whatever happens. Let's have a look now at the stats for the 10-race card, and we're focusing on Chris So and Zach Burton, Paul.
Yeah, they've got 2 really good chances, I thought. Mr. Croissant being the one. But look at the first 3 rate, 71% from the 28 runners. It's pretty good, isn't it? 884 there. So Mr. Croissant, obviously a really hard horse to beat. They've also got Invincible Missile as well, which is obviously going to be a big chance. So a couple there to increase that statistic.
All right, it's best bets time. Paul, you're the first cab off the rank.
Superstar, Brett. I'm going to go with him. Superstar there. He's got a really good fresh record. He's had a nice quiet trial leading into this. He's drawn a little bit wide, but he gets back anyway. So Joe Moreira, no problems. Savvy 7 now. He's come up a bit short. I'm expecting him to drift out to about 11 or 12 to 1, I think, from his wide draw.
You've gone the SSSS. Yeah. Superstar Savvy 7.
There we go. And lucky I'm going to lisp. And player of the day here in race 9, 1, 3 and 4.
We were thinking it.
Right. From superstar to super winner, race 2, number 6, Zach Burton and Dennis Shipper's the best long shot on a place line. Raging Storm, race 10, number 2. You can't beat Athero, but Raging Storm. And throwing a few about for the trio. Whole stack there. Anchoring Splendor and Gold, Super Elegance, and take your pick out of those.
Is it one page or 2?
No, the graphics, man, was very upset with you today, I can
Steve
assure
coming
you.
out of it.
California Legend, I think he's got more than one string to his bow. He looks a better horse this season. 4, 8, and my long shot. I like 2, Vigor Fame and Jolly Banner in the sprint. Race 3, number 6, I've labelled him, but Vigor Fame I think will run well at the price. California Legend, you can banker him in the queue with Smart Patch and Witness Hunter. The National Day Cup, the Celebration Cup, cracking day of racing, boys.
Certainly will be. Beauty Generation, Athero, 2 stars for John Moore, so can't wait.
Yep.
The big boys are coming out to play, aren't they?
They are. And we'll be out on track as well tomorrow. Of course, Jenny Chapman will join us for the live telecast at Sha Tin. Good night.